When hearing of the sanctuary message, you might picture dusty ancient furniture or complicated prophecy charts. Let's clear the smoke. At its core, the sanctuary is God's historical blueprint for healing the deepest wound we carry, our separation from the Creator. The story actually starts long before anyone pitched a tent in the desert. It starts in Eden. God, humanity, and creation existed here in absolute, unhindered harmony. It was the original sanctuary environment. God created humanity to reflect His character and live in intimate, uninterrupted communion with Him. But sin shattered that design. It brought guilt, and it introduced a structural disorder to human nature and the world around us. The immediate result is tragedy. Adam and Eve hide. The voice they welcomed suddenly fills them with fear, and communion collapses into total estrangement. When God walks through the garden asking, "Where are you?" He isn't looking for information. He is launching an active, relentless rescue mission to bring humanity back. This sets up the central problem for the rest of history. How can a perfectly holy God safely dwell with broken, fallen people without destroying them? Thousands of years later, God answers that question with Israel. He rescues them from slavery in Egypt first, and then asks them to build a sanctuary. Grace and deliverance always come before the religious structure. This diagram shows the tabernacle layout, a portable Eden. It featured 3 specific zones: courtyard, holy place, and most holy place. Walking from the courtyard altar inward to the ark mapped the exact journey from guilt, through mediation, back into communion with God. As the portable tent became a permanent stone temple, its significance deepened. It became the throne room of the king, where God's law met His mercy, teaching that true worship is inseparable from accountability to God's government. The sanctuary system showed that sin is deadly, grace is costly, and reunion with the Creator requires a sacrifice. It provided a visible way for a holy God to govern and dwell among His people. Then the story pivots. The architecture of tents and stones takes human form in the incarnation. Jesus Christ embodies every single element of the ancient system. He operates simultaneously as the temple where God meets humanity, the priest who mediates for us, and the sacrifice offered on our behalf. The cross becomes the ultimate, final altar. The symbolic blood of animals gives way to a permanent, reality-altering atonement. Through Christ's sacrifice, the sanctuary becomes the active machinery that reconciles humanity to God, turning symbolic hope into a living reality. Christ's work didn't end at the resurrection. After His ascension, God's presence expands on 2 fronts simultaneously, one earthly and one heavenly. On earth, the Spirit-filled church functions as a mobile sanctuary. Believers actively carry the presence and grace of God outward into their homes, workplaces, and local communities. While the church works on earth, Jesus ministers in a true heavenly sanctuary as our high priest. This phase, known as the investigative judgment, serves as a transparent review of salvation's records, ensuring the process of redemption is open and complete. This celestial process reveals to the entire universe that God's government is just and His mercy is genuine. It secures our future by demonstrating that we belong to Christ, vindicating His character before the final end of sin. The story reaches its final chapter in the book of Revelation. We see the creation of the new earth, a universe entirely healed from the disease of sin. But there is a shocking architectural absence in this renewed world. John writes that there is no temple building anywhere in the holy city. The temple is missing because the distance between God and humanity has been permanently erased. God Himself dwells directly and visibly with His people. The new earth is the ultimate answer to what was lost in Eden. The goal of the sanctuary has been achieved, and the need for mediation has ended. God moved from a garden to a wilderness tent, to a cross, to heavenly courts, all to build a road back to us. The sanctuary proves exactly how far God went to dwell with humanity again, but we have to choose to step out of hiding and let Him in. The sanctuary stands as a universe-spanning invitation to stop hiding and finally come home.